Welcome to Full Embrace. We're Summer,
And Michelle, two life coaches exploring life's
messy,
beautiful,
and powerful moments together.
every part of life.
Embraced. Hello.
Hi.
Today we are here to talk about knowing your intrinsic value. So, as Michelle and I talked about this a little bit before the show, Michelle said, "What does intrinsic mean?" Michelle, why don't you read that to us?
Yeah, love to. It says inward, internal, hence true, genuine, real, essential, inherent, not apparent or accidental.
So, what are some things that you read that stick out to you?
I love the whole inward and internal, like it's already inside of me. It's not something outside of me. Mm, yeah. And I loved, not accidental, essential, real, true.
Yeah, can you just read it again so I know what it says?
Yeah. Yeah. Inward, internal, hence true, genuine, real, essential, inherent, not apparent or accidental.
Yeah, seems like a big task to figure out our intrinsic value.
Yeah, at one level, right, it seems huge, it seems really important, and the other level, I'm like, "It's already here. It's already in me. It's a part of me already."
Michelle and I often attend a morning group. In this group, we get invited to have conversations with God. And sometimes there are questions that we might want to ask ourselves, and sometimes questions are offered to us. And the reason I wanted to bring this up today was because a week or two ago, my question to God was, "What do you want to talk about today?" And the answer was, "Your intrinsic value." And at the end of that, I said, "Why was it important for me to know right now?" And the answer was to help everyone else know their intrinsic value. So I guess that's what we're going to try and do today. At least give you some ideas on how you can learn your own intrinsic value.
Why is it important to know your intrinsic value?
Well, I asked God, "Why do you want me to know that?" And the answer that I received was, "You forget. You need to know you are not small." I'm not small. I guess I need to know that.
Well, let me ask you this. What difference have you noticed from receiving your intrinsic value from God 2 weeks ago? Has it made a difference for you? Or how did you feel about it?
Hmm, that's a good question. I think it reminded me of my importance on earth to humanity, of just being. And I think that creates self confidence and motivation.
When you received what God told you, what was your, like, visceral response to it? Like, what was the feeling?
Uh, It's definitely a good feeling. Yeah, good, peaceful, like refreshing. Uh, and there's an ease that goes with breathing as I think about it. Yeah.
That's a beautiful description, an ease with breathing. I noticed the word importance come up. Tell me more about knowing your intrinsic value and importance.
Hmm. I might have to pray more on that. But I do think that it ties into our identity, what we talked about last week, and how identity ties into our purpose. And all of those things together create his strength.
When I think about intrinsic value, think like it can't be changed. I can't be more valuable. I can't be less valuable. There's nothing I can do to change my value, or nothing I cannot do to change my value. It's set.
And as you say that, I think of sometimes we are like a pressure cooker. Like we have all of these pressures to do things and it builds and builds. And then what you just said, it's like pulling the release valve and just kind of like letting all of
Mhm.
that steam float up and knowing that it's okay to not do things perfectly, not do things at all sometimes. And
Yeah. I have a great example in my house right now. I have a 7-month-old grandson, and, every day he's trying new things. Every day he's trying to figure out how to get his body to move on the ground, right? And I'm so excited when he figures it out, and I'm so excited just watching him figure it out, watching him try, actually, I'm so excited just to be in his presence. I have so much joy. He's valuable to me no matter what. I just have so much joy in his existence. I don't even care what he does. I just love being in his presence, and he's valuable to me. I'm just so happy that he is here. So I think for me, that's intrinsic value. He doesn't have to do a thing. He's already valuable.
yeah, I think part of helping you listeners know what your intrinsic value is, I feel like I should read my own.
Mhm.
And I asked, what is my intrinsic value? As much as the dust of the earth, and as much as the entirety of all the gold in the world. Like the sun, you give light and warmth to others. Like the dust, you leave parts of you wherever you go. As the ocean waves, you cleanse people with your vibrant energy. As you gave life to your children, you continue to give life to your neighborhood and those you choose to welcome into your life. And this is my favorite part. You are one with me, and our worth is limitless. It spans existence. And I think maybe you don't feel like you connect with all of that, but I definitely believe that the last part is all of us, right? We are one with God and our value is limitless.
Believe that. Especially about everybody else. Harder to believe that about myself, right? Thus, the value of receiving your intrinsic worth, your intrinsic value from the source, right? Who really knows your intrinsic value.
Yeah. Michelle, do you want to share what you received?
Yeah, yeah. In contrast, when I asked, I received one word, and the word I received was Jesus.
And tell us what you interpret that to mean.
Um, I guess to me, like Jesus, um, is the ultimate value, the ultimate sacrifice that was given by God, and um, to receive that He is my value and is my worth makes me incredibly valuable to God. Also puts me on equal ground. Like, part of me is like, "What?" And the other part of me is like, "Oh." Like, oh, really? I'm that important? I'm that valuable?
The word precious keeps coming up for me.
The precious blood of Jesus was given for me, right? For each of us.
Uh, And Michelle, why do you think it's important for people to know their intrinsic value?
Think it reveals, I would say, who we are, but I almost think more importantly, the value of our life, the value of our very existence. I think it's so easy to discount our importance or our contributions or that we're making an impact or having an influence. And this like realigns.
So, do we, how do we, how can we help people to know their own intrinsic value?
Yeah, I guess I would just say if anything that we are speaking about resonates with you on the inside, if you're like, I want to know that for myself, pay attention to your response to this topic. And if it's resonating with you, pay attention to what is resonating with you.
Yeah,
And if it's something that your heart is like, I want that, then I would encourage you to ask your higher self or ask God or be curious about what that worth is and listen inside of you, not necessarily what other people tell you it is.
I would say even further, definitely not what other people tell you it is.
Yeah.
The way I tend to receive big news like this, sometimes envisioning myself with my higher power helps me to get to a place where I'm ready to ask the questions. And sometimes I can just ask, but I do know that because my ability to focus wavers, the best way for me to really hear is by writing things down. I tend to ask and then write down the first thing that comes to my mind.
Yeah. Yeah, that's also my experience. And it's almost like if I have the journal and the pen, I'm expecting that God, higher power, is listening, is hearing, and will speak.
And you're listening, right? You're willing with your pen and paper to not just receive, but also to record.
Yeah, like saying, this is important for me, important enough to write it down. And it's really powerful to be able to read it again, right? When you actually record it and revisit it and revisit the feelings that came along with what you're writing. So if it resonates, try it out.
Definitely try it out. And if you feel like you are too afraid to try it out because you don't feel like you will have the same kind of value, then
Start with your fear,
start by telling God,
honest truth.
we really appreciate you listening and being with us and are definitely always here to help. And just to leave off, our worth is limitless. It spans existence.
If it's true for one, it's true for all.
We love you and value you.
Thanks for joining us on this journey.
Yes.
Every part of life
Embraced.